Let's make sure the things that happened to us to prevent us from being great on the last episode don't happen to us on this episode.
You
I
Kevin,
would.
you Kevin Nash our streak.
Mm,
You stay classy, internet.
mm.
I'm Suave Burgundy,
Gangrene back in the building yet again.
the gangiest of green and the greenest. Nah, we ain't green.
We forgot the Balmont team.
Ting!
Booyaka shot.
All of that, though.
Oh, today, Tuesday, June the 4th, year of our Lord.
Yeah, of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Yeah, of our Lord.
20 and 20. 4 for 4.
Would you like fries with that, sir?
No salt. Absolutely.
Dipping sauce for your nuggets. Pause.
I'm going to go a little bit outside with this one. Yes, hummus.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Take
I'm getting a mental picture because I had hummus recently and I'm like, those textures are
potato,
very...
like crispy potatoes with some chickpeas smashed.
Oh no, I've had it happen before, but I was like, for the nuggets, that's what was throwing me.
The kids get the
don't do this.
Let the church say.
Hey man. For
Yo,
those of you who don't know why we're giggling, shout out to O Solo.
You want one of these days, y'all gonna hear me. I hear something we say. Actually, take your time and go Google it and find out. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Housekeeping items. I was waiting until my travel was out the way before I got this little spill in. Get your allergy medicine. I am now the proud father of not one, not two, not three, but 4 high school graduates.
4 more graduates.
Campaign.
Hey,
I am also the father of not but 1, not 2, but 3 college graduates.
Man, listen. Badman team. You feel me? Look, in an age where fathers and to a greater extent, fathers from our culture are ostracized for either their lack of participation or whatever other superlatives you want to lump on those individuals or us that inhabit this community. I, sir, have to salute you for the accomplishment that you have just given Broken Pencil Nation.
As part of the tribe, we thank you. It's not a mission that is done alone.
Indeed.
If you don't have a tribe, shame on you. It's too late at this point.
Nah, I mean, you better get you one before it get real out here. You better figure out what's going on.
Shouts out to my younger son, David Christopher.
Hey.
And of course, I can't shout out David without shouting out co-founder of the BPBC.
Original panel member.
Original V1 merch owner. / t-shirt model.
That man got samples.
Jeremiah, aka JBL.
For the one time.
And shouts out to my number 2, to Sydney, my second born, for being daddy's chauffeur around H-Time.
Seeing the kids, still tipping.
My first time back in Texas since my departure from that fair state.
Indeed.
Felt pretty damn good, bruh.
We're being overrun by transplants, but we were trying to get something figured out for that.
Yeah, what was crazy, this is the first time I've seen all Texas plates anytime I've ever been in Texas. And I guess when you're in Houston, that's what happens, because people from out of town don't drive in Houston.
Fam. Oh, but all I'm seeing up and down the highways is like it's a lot of Colorado, it's New
A lot of
Mexico,
California.
California, without doubt. It used to be a lot of Louisiana, but that's kind of filtered out a little bit. I think those
They're
people
locals now. They have
yeah,
taken place now.
they've taken up permanent residence. But oh, bruh, just here's a fun fact and a tip. I know there's a lot of people coming this direction, to live in this city for different reasons and whatnot. Oklahoma has plenty of space. I'm just saying, like Texas is full, specifically the DFW community and surrounding suburbs.
I want to Google this fact. I will almost bet you a toe that the state of Oklahoma has less people than the DFW Metroplex.
That sounds like that's a safe bet. Not gonna lie to you.
Let's see here. States.
Oak Cliff is the 40th
okay.
largest city in these here United States. So for
Population.
a city, well, a neighborhood, what would it be called? A suburb, a metropolitan area inside of a bigger city?
Township?
Sure, we'll go with that for now. A township that would qualify as the 40th largest state in these here United States. No, 40th largest city.
Talking about Oak Cliff?
Yes.
Oak Cliff is definitely a township. Yes.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If Oak Cliff would qualify as the 40th largest city in these here United States, the state of Texas or the city of Dallas would have close to more people or as many people as Oklahoma.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard something when I was in Dallas that Fort Worth was like ranked number 13 in the country.
In what?
Population.
Oh, I don't doubt it. They probably rank pretty high in a couple of other things too, but this is not what that's about. Shout out to my homies out there, but that ain't what this is about.
You dig.
Feel me? Just check in before you pull up.
That's according to the 2022 census, the state of Oklahoma had a population of 4.02 million.
And Dallas's population is
DFW, without me even Googling, is teetering at 8 million.
And then there's that. So
I remember in 2004 when the Houston and Dallas radio markets flip-flop or media markets flip-flop. Houston was number 5. No, Houston was number 4. Dallas was number 5, and they flip-flopped.
Mm-hmm.
So either Dallas's market grew in size or it grew in people. Either way, DFW is the number 4 market in the country for population.
So to recap what I said, Oklahoma is wide open for you.
It's twice as much space.
Californians should be really comfortable there. The marijuana's legalized. What else? Give me something else. Oh, gambling. You can gamble. So you ain't gotta, it's not like you gotta go from California to Vegas. You do it all in Oklahoma. Great casinos. Sports betting is legal.
Alcohol is beer is now above 3.2 as it has been for like the last 5 years. So you don't have to worry about drinking pea water.
Dispensaries everywhere. It's like California. It's like Timu, California.
More dispensaries than churches. And Oklahoma had more churches than any other place in the country. Go learn and pray. Go pray and learn.
Joe Exotic is safely behind bars. You ain't got to worry about him or Carol Baskins.
That be as naive.
All I'm saying is don't come here. We don't want you.
If I missed anything, you know how to let us know. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. That's at brokenpencilbc on all things social, at brokenpencilbc on what?
Everything.
30 minutes on the clock, please.
Bing bong.
Our show begins now. So when we last left you, we went off the air talking about AEW Double or Nothing, the 5th anniversary, as well as King of the Ring. Well, King of the Ring, we do have 2 King and Queen of the Ring. We do have, new King, new Queen of the Ring. Shouts out, yeah. Shouts out to Queen Nia. Shouts out to King Walter in our house still.
Facts.
And
The king of the ring in or out.
King of the ring in or out. But we also have in AEW a returning Maxwell Jacob Friedman after a nice healthy hiatus, which also ironically put to bed by him showing up the bidding war of 2024. We thought we had action with that vainglorious curse laden promo from, what was it, 2 years ago?
Something like that.
I don't think it was last year. I want to say it was 2 years ago when he let off those couple slugs.
I think I think so. Probably, you're right.
But either way, he's back, and he's got a very questionable AEW tattoo on his lower leg.
I hope that was a stick-on.
Hollywood airbrushing, I'm hoping for, more so than the stick-on.
Bruh, because, like, there's no way. There's just no way. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way.
You couldn't pay me to put that tattoo on me. Word to my mother.
And it's not so much that the concept is bad. The execution of said tattoo is what is most concerning for me.
The man ordered a tattoo on Temu.
All right, for those of you who are familiar with the movie The Hangover, how Stu woke up with a Mike Tyson tattoo around his eye in The Hangover 2, that tattoo was better than the one Max has.
Yep, that was definitely Max's tattoo, bar none. Not even a question.
It just feels like something you get tattooed drunk. It feels like something you made an impulse decision. You didn't do any research on the tattoo shop, the artist, or anything before that. It was just like, let me go get this flash piece.
And crazily, the only other thing we got out of that pay-per-view from a surprise standpoint was a returning to TV Gangrel by name, accompanying Adam Copeland, who had just, also took this time to jump straight at a 90-degree angle from the top of a cage onto a prone Aleister Black on a table, causing a broken tibia.
Malachi Black, his contract ain't up yet.
I'm sorry. You're right. Malachi Black.
Look, sometimes we have to pull our, and I hate to use this word when I'm referring to Copeland, but we have to pull our elders aside and let them know that you've done enough. What you're planning is completely unnecessary.
Wouldn't it be ironic that he retired and became a Hall of Famer because of a broken freaking neck? He comes back and is far north to the start of his career than he is the end of it. And he causes that kind of injury by taking a straight up and down dive.
No one should jump from that high straight down unless there's a fire involved.
And I'm so glad he thought about protecting his fellow opponent. Let's keep it a whole buck.
Very cool, very noble.
He probably made that decision midair to protect his opponent.
I get the table placement and everything. Like it's possible that the table was too close, so if you dive out, you might overshoot. It would be an even worse injury,
especially for someone with the surgically repaired neck.
Right. Then if you go with the splash, kind of the same thing. Like you would hit the spot, but the window for mishap grows even more because of the distance of the table and the angle of the splash. You know how we could have avoided all of this?
How?
Stay your ass on the ground.
That's a great solution, Suave. That's why we're here.
Look, for a nominal fee, soon
to be
a phenomenal fee. We will slice off some of this broken pencil knowledge and put it on your plate. That would have fixed all of this. Stay on the ground. It's a gimmick match. Barbed wire steel cage, which number one, I expected far more barbed wire than what we got. How much did the barbed wire even really come into play?
The biggest shock of the barbed wire had to be the placement of Malachi Black onto the table with the barbed wire, because it was supposed to be used to strap him down.
So, I mean, look, now, far be it of me to criticize this, because obviously two professionals got in there and did what they could with the situation. But I think we've learned from AEW's history that gimmick matches aren't always the way to go, i.e. the exploding ring match.
Boy.
Several of these stadium stampedes, a couple of these
that was the other nonsense.
Yeah,
Broken Pistol BC on Instagram. Go check out the reel that I posted if you did not watch Double or Nothing, or if you have been under a rock for the last week and a half.
Oh no, that's Anarchy in the arena, and that's the second year in a row that somebody has come up short as a result.
Let's talk about Anarchy in the arena for a minute.
All right.
I believe was that when Matt Hardy busted his, cracked his dome open?
I think that no. Hardy cracked his dome against Sammy Guevara in some sort of match where he fell off a lift.
Scaffolding or lift.
Yeah, him and Sammy fell off a lift through a table, and he banged his head on the concrete.
Was it like a side effect through a table or something like that?
No, because he went backwards. How he got up and was able to do anything is a complete miracle.
I still see Rebby Hardy and I hear her words on the Twitter screen.
Right, because
what blah 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 blah.
You feel me? Like, yeah, it was an ugly. I don't even want to go look it up because I don't want to make myself sick right now. But the fact he was able to complete the match is a miracle. But walking around and speaking coherently, that is a real accomplishment. But that was a separate match with Guevara. That wasn't a Stadium Stampede or.
But the fact I got to jumble all this crap together,
somebody did get hurt during a Stadium Stampede. I just don't remember who it was.
Somebody got hurt during a Anarchy in the Arena match too. The one that had
Bryan Danielson got hurt last year. He got concussed real good.
Yep. And matter of fact, didn't I take him out of All In?
Did it?
Because he had just got his arm broken too.
No, the arm break was after.
The arm break happened at the
Forbidden Door. Yes.
So he wasn't in All In because of that.
Was All In before Forbidden Door?
Yep. Well, All In was after. Forbidden Door was in August. No, I'm sorry. All In was in August, rather.
So the broken arm kept him out of All In. The concussion kept him out of whatever happens before Forbidden Door.
The broken arm.
But you see my point? Like,
the fact that we're keeping score on stars.
We can't keep track of the injuries.
On stars
you paid a lot of money for, who were supposed to essentially lead you through the door of acceptance so that your younger stars could develop and become the flag bearers.
And let me keep it a whole 1,000 with you. Okay, hold on. I'm glad you said that too, because before we get into this, the whole reason why we're having the show today, younger stars and flag bearers, the pillars, MJF,
now that's
back here to stay. Sammy Guevara, parts unknown,
missing in action.
YFN Darby hit by a bus and wielding a flamethrower. He gets a buzzer.
Hung upside down.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He has a smashed nose and is hanging upside down for at least 5 minutes.
Another situation where there could have been a catastrophe. A catastrophic
incident. That could have
gone
badly bad.
Hardy could have gone terrible. Edge, two in the same pay-per-view. Edge could have gone horribly because he could have Sid Vicious himself. He was able to stand after the match. He could have Sid Vicious himself from that fight.
I think his body of work in the industry is the only reason he didn't Sid Vicious himself.
Jeez. And then you have
WCW Sid Vicious versus Scott Steiner, if you're interested in what we're talking about.
Darby could have bled. There's so much stuff that could have happened with Darby, because Darby, I have to believe, is not 100%. He may not be 68%.
Broken ankle and hit by a bus while recovering from said broken ankle.
Fam, you got to slow down.
And then Jack Perry's the other one, who was lit ablaze by YFN Darby.
Flame retarded Jungle Buck Jack Perry.
And the fact that he's aligned with the Elite. So we have 1 out of 4, 25%. I'm not debating Darby Allin. He's in the buzzer category. We have a 25% success ratio on 4 pillars, and one of them's not even on TV and hasn't been seen in at least 3 months.
Britt Baker is the one we're speaking of.
I see what you did there.
Oh, no. Run the pillars down for me again. I'm tripping.
No, you're not, because that's pretty damn good, Suave.
No, at one point there was a remark. I think CM Punk might have made that remark when he first debuted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Darby,
MJF, Sammy, and Jack.
Yeah, so one returned and probably leveled up his bag status, and then the other went over.
He absolutely leveled up his bag status.
Went over in the main event. So, I mean, wouldn't you say 50%?
Nope. Still saying 25 because
38.
Darby went through glass and then got his ankle broken in a match 10 days after retaining the tag team championships that Sting retired with after going through said glass. And then while recovering from a broken ankle, which prevented him from training to go climb Mount Everest, mind you, he gets hit by a bus. Stock down, bro. You're not a hero for that.
I mean, he's made more headlines than just about any of the other pillars. Like,
for the wrong reasons.
Look, you have to Titus O'Neil this. You got to make it a win.
I got to do shit.
You have to Titus O'Neil this, bro. Like,
we are days away from going full blown seasons 1 through 5 on BPBC.
So look, Jack Perry got the win in a main event against Bryan Danielson in Anarchy in the Arena. Regardless of how Benny Hill the match turned out to be, he did go over and went over the arguably top 3 best in the world.
Yakety sacks, bruh. Yakety sacks.
I'm trying to keep us from being,
cantankerous.
No, I don't care about that.
Oh, okay.
About us being labeled as, tribalist or loyalist to one side or the other, as if we haven't explained this a million times on this show.
I'm done explaining to people what I am.
I'm done too.
We've been here longer than you've been a fan of professional wrestling. Deal with it.
Just here's the bright side of it. Darby's making headlines. If you're gonna spin it, he's making headlines on a consistent basis. Jack Perry's going over, and I didn't say getting over, but if he's gonna get over, this is probably his best opportunity. And then you have MJF.
I'm convinced he has no home anywhere else.
Because of certain contributing factors, he's probably always going to have the opportunity. But I largely kind of agree with your stance, but I'm like, there is still one other landing place for him, maybe 2, maybe 3, who knows? But you know how that go.
All right, so let's talk about landing places. One person who we haven't seen on TV in quite some time popped up on NXT TV last week, and that's All Ego Ethan Page. Shouts out to Baggington Securitas.
I think that's a good move for him.
It's a great move for him. He needs to stay there. Stay in NXT.
Just never main roster. Just stay.
Never main roster. He could be a catalyst for that part of the company, for that brand.
I could see him like with a lengthy title run and kind of carrying that show for a while whenever they decide to call Trick Williams up.
Because think about Austin Theory and Ethan Page side by side. They look like before and after.
What are we doing with Austin Theory?
I smell a face turn in this very near future.
I mean, but even with a face turn, like what are we
Nothing
doing?
happens with the face turn with Austin Theory.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, hey, bro, what are we doing?
At the day or 2 days after King and Queen of the Ring, because Becky Lynch did lose the Women's World Championship.
Oh, we were wrong about that.
No, you were wrong about that.
Wow. Okay. I see how that's finna go. All right. You done drew your line in the sand. Cool beans, brother.
It's a team thing, but I knew who wasn't going to win. It was
but you gonna shoulder this L. That's awful.
But she had a return match in a cage against Liv Morgan on Monday Night Raw, lost for the dumbest reason. But I like the progression in the storyline between Liv and Judgment Day. However, all of the talk was not the Liv Morgan kiss on Dominic Mysterio. All the talk was the final shot of Rebecca Quinn, aka Becky Lynch, leaving WWE, apparently out of contract. There's a show coming up at the end of this month on AEW. Maybe we've heard of it. Maybe we've even talked about it. Forbidden Door. The concept of a forbidden door is someone who is contracted elsewhere to come into a company that you don't expect, with the idea of shaking up the industry. It's not a forbidden door if you sign that person. It's a forbidden door when you walk through the front door while still being signed to the other company, a la Jordynne Grace, your TNA Knockouts champion, who is defending the title on NXT TV on Sunday on Peacock.
StockValue.com.
Yeah. And Jordynne Grace fits the bill because NXT could use a boost in women's talent and TNA could use a boost, period. So if you want to stock up TNA, it's a great way to make that start.
It sounds like they're on the side of the road with a dead battery. If anybody needs a boost.
If you've seen their product lately, it's nothing against the talent, but the production level access, you can do so much better. Anthem, you can do so much better. We've seen it on a shorter budget. Jeff Jarrett made it look like a shining diamond. That's all I'm saying. So did Dixie Carter.
Shine bright.
I digress.
Like a diamond.
Do we see Rebecca Quinn at Forbidden Door?
If I'm a betting man, I feel like no. My reasoning is very simple. It's not about matching the bag, because the whole reason for taking this time off is to spend time with your young child. A lot of one-on-one time so that you don't miss so much of the development stages, so that you can have some bonding time. I'm sure whatever bag is being thrown, unless it's like Favored Nations 1996 Hall and Nash type stuff, TKO can match whatever Kanos is going to throw out.
TKO can, but we already know Kanos is playing in the snow, allegedly, when it's cold outside.
Right. Now, who are you holding?
Possibly the biggest bag a woman in this sport has ever seen could be thrown at Rebecca Quinn to show up at Forbidden Door.
After you just threw the biggest bag that had ever been seen by a woman at Mercedes Moné. And then you had previously thrown another humongous bag at Saraya. Then I'm sure a less substantial bag was thrown at Toni Storm. Meanwhile, Britt Baker is so far missing in action, they've called off the search party.
Britt Baker is now DMD, is now the women's version of MJF for the AEW roster. I started this gangster-ish, and this is the mother effing thanks I get.
Look, I mean, can we check on Adam Cole's contract status? Because they might do a joint venture getting up out of there. At this point, like, Dr. Baker is running a completely successful dentist practice and not thinking about wrestling at this point. Like, what are we doing?
She's taking bumps, but not taking bumps.
Listen, whatever your recreational activities are,
No, not that kind of bump. I'm talking about for work.
Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. My apologies to anyone who may have been offended.
Excuse you, partner. Excuse you. Also visibly missing from AEW TV, not to return. His words, not mine. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
OG Mark.
Where is he going back home?
I don't see why he does. Look, we all know the Mark Henry that we saw in the ring and in front of the camera. So we do know he does have an ability to contribute as far as maybe a backstage producer or some sort of coach in NXT. That goes without saying. A strength and conditioning coach in the PC is like, duh. However,
some sort of coach in NXT. Oh, I got a good one for you on that one.
So there's that. Then you know he's on Busted Open Radio, so he has the media skills to handle whatever. So if you wanted to give him an opportunity on commentary, or if you want to try to use him in some other space, maybe a WWE backed or led podcast situation, if they wanted to get into that digital media space, then so we have seen him show his chops as a talent scout. He's responsible for the discovery of Bianca Belair, responsible for the discovery of Jade Cargill, and numerous others. So I don't know why you wouldn't, especially in this situation of name, image, likeness. That
oh boy.
Follow me if you follow me for more recipes. But name, image, likeness being a thing, and you're okay. For those of you who remember what Jerry Briscoe used to do under the McMahon era, he was the guy who went out and spotted the talent before the process started. So notable people on his checklist: Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin,
Mark Henry.
You see what I'm saying? So he knows how to. So Mark Henry knows how the process goes. He knows how to find talent. He knows how to find talent that can adapt well to what's going on in WWE. He hasn't really had any misses yet.
What was the commonality between most of the people that Jerry Briscoe found for WWE that Mark Henry also shared?
Collegiate athletes.
Amateur athletes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Collegiate amateur athletes. Yes.
Now, you said name, image, likeness. We said basically the forefather for this is going to be Gerald Briscoe. Jacob Henry is now signed to go to OU in the fall as a freestyle wrestler.
Bing bong.
NIL would be ignorant to not do a deal with OU, or WWE would be ignorant to not do an NIL deal with OU for a returning Mark Henry and his son and Jacob, because Mark Henry could essentially be the go-between while getting another bag for WWE.
We're saying and thinking the same thing. Give the NIL deal to Jacob, put some money in his pocket, and the first thing people say when they see you get some money is, how can I get that same money? So now the conversation has already started itself. You just cherry picking who you want out the group.
And we can guarantee one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Jacob Henry ain't no Gable Steveson. I'm not calling Jacob Henry less than an Olympic gold medalist, because he very well could be. What I'm saying is Mark Henry ain't gonna let Jacob tarnish the Henry name the way Gable Steveson tarnished his own.
Ooh. And then there's that.
Was that a conversation we were ready to have? I don't know if we were. I digress, because we got this sprint going on here.
I mean, I think we can really have that conversation when we see how Buffalo works out. If the Bills end up cutting him during training camp, or he doesn't make the official 53 that starts the season, we can finally have that conversation.
They cut a punter to sign Gable Steveson as a defensive tackle. That is amazing work.
Look, if you already
and without
have
Stephon Diggs being there, makes it real easy to help try to load up this defense real quick.
not as easy as you think, because they were helicoptering towards Cap Hill, but that's a whole different bag of worms.
Yeah. Two more real quick, and we get about 2 minutes for these.
Yeet.
The newly departed from AEW, Jake Hager, another Oklahoma athlete from University of Oklahoma.
Right.
Does he return back to WWE?
I think it's about the conversation you have with him before you got to have the right conversation with him. I don't know if he still wants to fight MMA. I don't know if he wants to be a full-time wrestler back on that sort of schedule. I know the perfect landing spot for him if he decided that Stanford was the option. And that would be next to Chad Gable in Alpha Academy 2.0. He would be the heater. He would take the place of Otis, essentially.
I like that, but before I like that, I want to see him do a tour of duty in MLW.
I'd like to see him in Japan if we just doing stuff.
watch him do his stuff.
You know, wop. So
mess him up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could go to TNA. Look, if the money was looking right in TNA, I would absolutely tell him to go there and get a serious run and like reestablish his name, reestablish his whole persona. Same thing for New Japan, because apparently they're kind of starved for main event talent. So if you send him out there, he can probably get busy for 6 months.
And he's familiar.
All of that.
And then finally, this is the one I've been waiting on right here.
What it is?
The one person who has the mouthpiece that you want to fire off, like you want to stay by that censor, but you don't know how much of that line he's going to either tote across, but you know he's also going to deliver in the ring. Absolute Ricky Starks.
Oh yeah, the new Rico. Because at this point, I think we've not we as the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast, but we as collective wrestling fans and us being on the opposite side of the table have given up on Ricochet ever being more than.
Bro, he was so close. 2 weeks ago, he was so close. They let him independently pick off the entire Judgment Day, except for Damian Priest.
Feels like they built him up just for Braun Breaker to knock him down.
Knock him down? They threw a building on top of him and the Speed title.
None of this would be an issue if he could cut a promo, or if they would give him an air quotes mouthpiece to speak on his behalf. Him being a heel is what's best for business. Make him a heel, put him in, fly club. If MVP was his mouthpiece, can you imagine how much better he would be on television?
3.0, the 3.0 show.
Even with the size disparity, because I know there's this thing about you don't want the manager to be bigger than the talent, but scratch that. You just need somebody that can talk. He would work in the Pride, or if you would just stop playing around and do Hurt Business 2.0 like you're supposed to.
That's what needs to happen. But there's only one place for Ricky Starks, especially with him having the mutual respect for CM Punk that he has, and that's going to be WWE. Because I can guarantee you, Candy Money is going to help get him over there signed for that bag.
He's definitely going to NXT first, and I'm not mad at it either. And it's not because he's not good enough to go main roster, but if you're going to establish him as the talent you should, NXT should be his first stop. And then imagine him going back and forth with Ethan Page for a 2-year span.
Show at BrokenPencilBC.com, BrokenPencilBC@gmail.com. It's at BrokenPencilBC on all things social, at BrokenPencilBC on what?
Everything.
Vita Hermosa coming soon. Suave, take him to the house.
Pencil pushers, like, rate, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend, and then tell that friend again. Heads up, pencils down.
Holla until sometime soon. Oh, we got action. NXT Battleground on Sunday the 9th, and then we also have Clash at the Castle on the 15th. There's a special day for you right there, the 15th. Let me talk about it, boy. Ooh.
You know who ain't gonna do who ain't gonna win on NXT. And this is your daily acknowledgement.